Milwaukee PBS producer Scotty Lee Myers asked 3 diverse Milwaukee public school teachers to submit video diaries following spring break. We hear in their own words what their school days are like, the good, the bad, and everything in between.
My name is Angela Harris. I am a first grade teacher at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School, the African American Immersion School, and this is my 6th year teaching. I think that particularly this year, it's really important for teachers to be documenting their experiences in the classroom. I think that we have seen a slight, decline in the respect for the teaching profession. And I think that it's important for folks to get a firsthand experience of what's actually happening in our classroom spaces.
My name is Lucas Weir. I'm a culturally responsive teacher leader in the district, and I teach here at Barack Obama School of Career and Technical Education, and this is my 14th year as a teacher. I was really excited when I had the opportunity to participate in the video diary project, and obviously a little nervous as well, but I feel like over the course of the last 6 years working at Obama, and even working at North Division prior, I think a lot of people don't understand what our jobs are like.
Name's Chappelle, teach at Allenfield, and I've been teaching 5th grade for 3 years now. I decided to join you all on this video diary journey just because even in my own family, I feel like there are so many people that don't really recognize and realize just how much teachers do beyond teaching.
It is the first Monday after our spring break vacation. Numbers were kind of low today.
What is frustrating and taxing is the interruption and the distraction that these standardized tests they're impacting our schools in a bad way. That is not the only way that young people can showcase their intelligence, by clicking on a screen, a multiple choice question. It's not effective, and it's hurting our students more than anything.
So do you want the good news or the bad news first? So the good news is today that I was able to work really closely with a handful of students, especially some of those that had missed class and needed to make up some work. The bad news is that I saw 15 students today across 3 blocks. So our school is on block scheduling. We have 4 blocks in a day. I have 64 students across those 3 blocks, and I saw 15. In the Milwaukee Public Schools, we have about 30 high schools. Not all of them are created equal. We have what is called select criteria enrollment in the district. So when you have those criteria, you're going to have 5 to 7 schools like we do in MPS that have between 90 and 96, 97% attendance. And then you're also going to have schools like mine that really struggle with attendance.
Yeah, it was a pretty typical day. Had a few criers. We're also learning fractions. We're getting it. Just not as quickly as we need to move. Our pacing, it moves so quickly, and I struggle with leaving students behind.
If I'm being honest, my scholars are really struggling with music class. They have no problem when they are in front of me, but when they are with other leaders in the building, they seem to really struggle.
So today I'm really looking forward to going home and doing very little tonight. I think one of the things we hear a lot about is that the job of a teacher doesn't end with the last bell of the day. For example, if we have 20 to 25 school days or weekdays in a month, my guess is that I'm working into the evening between 10 and 15 of those.
It was an exciting day today. Yesterday, we had our mock election, and the scholars voted for Cavalier Johnson, our first Black mayor ever, which is so important, particularly because I teach at an African American immersion school, but also because Cavalier Johnson comes from the same community that a lot of them presently live in.
For the first time in 14 years, I applied and just recently had a second interview for a non-teaching position, although still in MPS. I've kind of sensed for the last couple years that those in decision-making positions feel that as long as we have a handful of quality public options to go along with the private, the choice, the charters, to accommodate our middle class families, that as long as those people are taken care of, that it's okay to have dropout factories like Obama's.
I'm actually feeling a little bit more energized than yesterday. Math went a little bit better today too. There are some students that have come up to me today actually and were like, look, I still don't get this, I need extra help. So I'm gonna have to find some time somehow tomorrow or Friday to spend a little extra time with those that need a little bit more explanation.
So a lot of MPS high schools have students come in and the doors are actually right behind me. And then they check their bags through an x-ray scanner to see if they have any contraband, to see if they have cell phones. Not all MPS high schools do a scan, and not all MPS high schools collect phones. And what we would actually see is that schools in MPS, high schools in MPS that serve more white students, that serve more middle class students, are the schools that don't have scans.
Had a pretty good day overall, but it was, I don't know, this day was, it was just a little bit tough for me. Just dealing with a lot of anxiety today. And yeah, I was thinking last night about how there's not a whole lot of like space for teachers to deal with their own mental health issues.
Today was a decent day. I had two buses. Two buses were canceled today because there weren't any drivers. If I had to think about roses, buds, and thorns for today, roses are, jeez. Sorry, the phone rang. And that's another thing, like parent complaints about student behavior, and I don't know. I'm just trying to do everything in my power to build a restorative community amongst my scholars, and the parents aren't aware of what that is. And if someone does something to their child, they're just like, that child should be suspended and kicked out of the classroom. And I'm like, it's just not that simple.
We got brand new smart boards. The teachers in our building don't get excited by a lot of stuff, but there was a buzz with the classrooms around me, and I think it's because we've gotten so used to not having nice things.
Fridays are always exciting in my class because it is Freedom Friday. We choose a freedom fighter or an influential Black person to learn about on Friday. It was a low number in terms of attendance. We had two buses that didn't come. I had attended the Bucks game on Thursday night. It was a really exciting game. The Bucks won. And so I was definitely tired when I get to school, and I'm always hyper aware of how I'm feeling because I know how I'm feeling can manifest in different ways in the classroom. And so the person who covers my lunch and covers the scholars outdoor recess has pretty much been out all week. And so I didn't have an opportunity to have lunch at all this week.
The day went by pretty well. And one reason it went so smoothly was because I had another teacher helping me out in here. New teachers are only given a mentor for their first year. As if after 1 year of teaching with a mentor, you got it all figured out. I'm really grateful that, we had this opportunity to do some reflecting and that we had an opportunity to share with the general public what it's like to be a teacher. If you know a teacher, definitely show them some love during Teacher Appreciation Week, because we need it now more than ever.